The chameleon changes color to match the earth, but the earth does not change to match the chameleon. Yet, in the shifting sands of Nigerian politics, Yoruba nation activist Sunday Igboho seems to have adapted his stance all too conveniently, now urging the resilient leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, to embrace dialogue with the federal government as if surrender were the path to true liberation. This call, issued through a statement from Igboho's counsel on a recent Friday, comes at a time when Kanu remains steadfast in his fight for justice, even from behind bars, highlighting the stark contrasts in how regional agitations are handled across the nation. Igboho praised Kanu for his directive to officially end the 5-year Monday sit-at-home order in the southeast, a measure that had been a form of civil disobedience protesting Kanu's unlawful rendition from Kenya in 2021 and his ongoing detention. Describing the cancellation as a thoughtful step to lift the economic burden on the region, Igboho went further to advocate for Kanu to pursue mediation and talks with the current administration to resolve his legal battles. However, from the perspective of those who stand with IPOB's unyielding quest for equity and self-determination, this advice rings hollow, coming from someone whose own separatist ambitions appear to have softened under questionable circumstances. This na confirm street news. Na waiting we hear with the report, but be sure say na confirm. Abeg, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and drop a comment to help us grow and bring you undiluted news. The statement, signed by Pelumi Olajengbefi, Igboho's legal representative, positioned the move away from sit-at-homes as essential for restoring stability, but it quickly pivoted to pushing for compromise, suggesting that President Bola Tinubu's government is open to negotiations that could foster peace, shared prosperity, and respect for the Southeast. Yet, for supporters of Kanu, this overlooks the deeper injustices that fueled IPOB's movement in the first place, framing dialogue as a potential trap rather than a triumph. As Kanu serves a life sentence handed down last November for terrorism-related charges, a verdict his family has vehemently rejected and vowed to appeal, Igboho's intervention is seen by many in the IPOB camp as an outsider's attempt to dilute the struggle, especially given the activists' own history of evasion and return under the current regime. If this exploration of crossed paths in Nigeria's fight for regional rights has you questioning the authenticity of calls for peace, hit that like button if you stand for unwavering justice. Share your thoughts in the comments on whether dialogue can truly heal deep-seated grievances, and subscribe now to stay tuned for more stories that uncover the truths behind the headlines. We'll keep delivering the narratives that empower you to see the full picture. To understand the weight of Igboho's urging, it's crucial to revisit the turbulent journey that brought us here, a path marked by federal overreach and resilient resistance in the Southeast. Nnamdi Kanu's leadership of IPOB emerged from long-standing complaints of marginalization, where the Igbo people have felt sidelined in national resource allocation, political representation, and economic opportunities since the end of the Biafran War over 5 decades ago. His broadcasts via Radio Biafra amplified these voices, leading to his initial arrest in 2015, bail in 2017, and flight abroad amid alleged threats. The dramatic rendition from Kenya in June 2021, bypassing standard extradition processes, ignited widespread outrage and prompted IPOB to institute the Monday sit-at-home in August that year as a non-violent protest demanding his release. For 5 years, this action shuttered markets, schools, banks, and offices across the region every Monday, a collective stand that, while disruptive, underscored the depth of commitment to Kanu's cause and the broader push for self-determination. Kanu's trial culminated in a conviction last November, with the court deeming the Kuje facility unsuitable and transferring him to Sokoto Correctional Center, a move that many IPOB supporters view as a punitive isolation far from his cultural roots. In this context, Igboho's call for dialogue appears to ignore the systemic barriers that have made such talks elusive, especially when compared to how other regional figures have navigated similar waters. Igboho himself rose in 2021 amid farmer-herder clashes in the southwest, issuing eviction notices to suspected criminals and facing his own arrest in Benin Republic before his release and return to Nigeria in 2024. His shift from fiery advocacy to promoting negotiation under the Tinubu administration raises eyebrows among pro-IPOB observers who see it as a dilution of separatist ideals that Kanu has never wavered from. The key actors in this unfolding drama have taken positions that reveal much about their strategies and allegiances. Sunday Igboho, through his counsel statement, not only commended Kanu's cancellation of the seat at home, but actively encouraged him to seek a middle ground with the federal government, expressing confidence that the Tinubu era offers a window for mutual understanding. He warned against those exploiting violence in the southeast for personal gain, calling for an end to the region's desecration to pave the way for economic recovery. Nnamdi Kanu, from his position in detention, has shown pragmatism by lifting the sit-at-home order, a decision that could ease daily hardships for millions while maintaining pressure through legal appeals. His family and legal team continue to challenge the life sentence, arguing procedural flaws in his rendition and trial. President Tinubu's administration, implied in Igboho's optimistic tone, has yet to respond directly, but its handling of similar cases suggests a preference for containment over concession. For pro-IPOB voices, Igboho's actions smack of compromise, especially amid whispers that he may have aligned with the ruling APC to temper his Yoruba nation pursuits. Ending the sit-at-home, as well as urging dialogue without guarantees, could alienate hardcore supporters who view Kanu's imprisonment as a symbol of Igbo oppression, deepening community divisions. Economically, the Southeast has suffered immensely from the weekly shutdowns, with lost productivity estimated in billions, and while lifting them age recovery, true prosperity demands addressing the insecurities that IPOB attributes to state neglect. On security, Igboho's warning against profiteers from violence echoes real concerns, as unknown gunmen have exploited the unrest, but pro-IPOB analysts argue that genuine dialogue must tackle root causes like unequal security deployment, lest the region remain a powder keg. Public reactions to Igboho's statement have been sharply divided, with pro-IPOB circles largely dismissing it as opportunistic. Many in the southeast see Igboho as having compromised his principles, with claims circulating that he accepted financial incentives from Tinubu's APC to abandon his Yoruba national ambitions, now turning around to preach peace to Kanu as a way to curry favor with the regime, which is why a growing number view him as unreliable or even a joke in the broader struggle for ethnic self-determination. These perceptions stem from Igboho's relatively smooth return and integration compared to Kanu's harsh treatment, fueling accusations of ethnic bias in federal leniency. Opposing perspectives, particularly from the southwest and government sympathizers, hail the call as a mature step toward unity, arguing that dialogue has preserved Igboho's freedom and could do the same for Kanu, preventing further economic hemorrhage. Broader online discourse reflects these tensions, with some neutral observers noting the irony of one agitator advising another, while others warn that ignoring such pleas could prolong instability. Looking ahead, the ball is now in Kanu's court, though his response from detention may come through proxies or court filings, potentially influencing the appeal process and testing the administration's willingness for talks. If dialogue gains traction, it could lead to reduced sentences or conditional releases, easing Southeast tensions ahead of 2027 elections. But pro-IPOB skeptics fear it might come at the cost of core demands, leading to splinter groups or renewed protests. Should Igboho's plea fall on deaf ears, expect escalated advocacy from traditional leaders and diaspora, possibly drawing international attention to Kanu's case. In the worst case, unaddressed grievances could reignite enforcement actions, but logically, the sit-at-home lift suggests a tactical pivot towards legal battles over street disruptions. Ultimately, Nigeria's future hinges on whether such cross-regional appeals foster genuine equity or merely mask ongoing disparities. As we conclude this deep dive into a plea that challenges the essence of resistance, remember your role in amplifying these stories. Like this video if it resonated with your sense of justice, comment below on the viability of dialogue in divided times, and subscribe for more investigative narratives that keep the conversation alive and informed.